Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm elated to extend a very warm welcome to everyone joining us today for this webinar on increasing productivity with a paperless and user-friendly ticket management system. So this is Sri Harish, a project engineer from IC Pro Solutions, and I'll be the host for today's session. So before proceeding further, I would like to let all the attendees know that this session is being recorded, and I hope all of you are okay with it. So, this webinar will predominantly focus on understanding the benefits of using ticket management software in modern business operations. Over the years, it is known that managing tickets can be a challenging task, especially when it comes to dealing with ample of inquiries, complaints, and support requests. But however, with the help of our standalone software, it is possible to streamline this process and make it a more efficient one. So during this webinar, we will see how our ticket management software can help businesses improve their service, reduce response time, and enhance overall productivity. So we will also be showcasing some of the key features of our ticket management software and see how it can be integrated with existing business systems. For instance, you could be an IT manager or a customer service executive or even a business owner for that matter. This webinar is designed in such a way that it provides you with valuable insights on how ticket management software can benefit your organization. So if you have any queries or doubts during the session, you can drop it down right away in the Q&A chat box or save the questions for the Q&A session, which is going to happen towards the end of this webinar. Our panel will try their level best in addressing all your queries. And you can find the Q&A option on the right side of your screen so that you can talk to us using that. So before getting started, I'd like to give a brief introduction about us, IC Pro Solutions Private Limited. So IC Pro Solutions is a prominent solution provider for food, pharma, material handling, and oil and gas industries. We provide automation and digitalization service that increases operational efficiencies, safety, and security. We provide our customers with innovative and scalable solution to make their digital manufacturing more quantifiable and profitable. Our customized solution to address each customer specific requirement, as well as our commitment to delivering results every time, makes us an ideal partner for any organization. So, our latest venture into the automotive industry is standalone ticket management software, curated focusing the needs of automotive industry. To further introduce our software and the challenges it resolves, let me welcome our speaker, Mr. Tanay Kumar Sir, Manager Digitalization IC Pro Solutions. So, Mr. Tanay is a dedicated problem solver with a passion for resolving issues that affect businesses. He has worked across different domains with a particular focus on automotive and auto ancillary manufacturing industries. Throughout his career, he has collaborated with personnel at various levels to overcome challenges in areas of instrumentation, automation and control, digitalization, project concept, and feasibility approval. With over 16 years of experience in automation, Mr. Tane has held various responsibilities of automation engineer, technical support, sales for OEM and end users, head of business development for end user across India, and head of educational network for various colleges and universities across India. Talking about his education, he has completed his MBA from IIM Kozhikode and has done his BTech in instrumentation and control engineering. I warmly welcome Mr. Tane to walk everyone through the nitty-gritty of TMS. So Tane, the stage is all yours. You can just take it over.
Thank you, Sri Harish. Can you please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and I welcome you to today's session to understand how going paperless helps us to improve our productivity. Right. So before starting today's webinar, I'll just take you through our agenda. So what do we have in today's session? So in the span of next 30 to 40 minutes, we'll be discussing about the challenges, what we face as an automotive industry, what are the process flow we are talking about. We'll have a look at it. We will also see a little sample dashboards for a particular software developed as a solution to overcome the challenges what we'll discuss. We'll also see a sample architecture, a little bit of features about what needs to be done. So in and all, we'll be monitoring or we'll be seeing a lot of things in how do we solve the problem with our specific solutions. We will also discuss about a certain roadmap for the next 2 to 3 years. And once we finish this, we will keep the forum open for our Q&A sessions. So anyone who are having any question with respect to this particular solution or some idea or some different challenges which you feel this software might be able to resolve, or you feel that we should be concentrating or attending that particular challenge, you may feel free to speak up and let us know. Right? Moving forward. In today's time, one of the very important thing our management asks from us employees is how do we improve the profitability. In every manufacturing industry, this is the only main KPI for the management, and hence it drills down to the employee level, and this becomes the biggest question, right? We know there are two things to improve the productivity or profitability, right? So first is improve the productivity, and the second, which is actually connected or related to the first one, that is how do we decrease the downtime, right? And both together goes hand in hand in improving my profitability or the bottom line for the company. Let's take a step back. Let us understand more about our industry, that is automotive and auto component manufacturing. After having worked so closely with automotive and auto manufacturing customers, what we have understood is a different various kinds of problem what they are facing, right? But first and foremost, what we also understand is the manufacturing pace which is required for any automotive manufacturer, right? The speed of production is very important because that itself determines how much time to market the company is, and how much profitable the company will be, and how faster they will be able to deliver the product to its consumer, which is very important to gain the market space, right? And when we look back, this can be achieved again with two things. One is increase the productivity and decrease the downtime, right? So this is a very, very important question in any automotive industry, that how do we reduce my downtime? How do I overcome any unscheduled downtime, right? Rather, when I discuss this topic with the managers in automotive industry, they come up and they always say that our target should be how do we not have unscheduled downtime, right? But we all know because of various reasons there are unscheduled downtimes. But how can we better prepare and how can we reduce those unscheduled downtime is the question, right? Along with this, these two factors helps us in achieving the KPI for the management, that is profitability. But moving forward, we have one more important aspect to consider in today's time, right? And that is nothing but sustainability. A very important topic which is being discussed very, very carefully in all management discussions, right? Nearly 70 to 80% of CEO always discuss the term sustainability in all of their meetings, right? And why this is important? We understand that what times we are living in, it is very important to preserve the resources. I'm talking about natural resources, and we should also look at the environment so that we leave a better place for our future generations, right? So sustainability becomes a very big topic. Now the question is, can we improve, can we become sustainable, can we help the environment by following certain practices which can improve my productivity as well as reduce my downtime, right? So in and all, we will be focusing on these three aspects. We will see how the challenges we face, how we will be able to overcome these challenges, and be able to answer these three questions. Moving forward, what are the challenges we normally face in automotive industry, right? So the problems we face are basically, as we have discussed, is unscheduled downtime, right? Machine gets broken down. Sometimes miscommunication happen between two people, two departments regarding the machine breakdown, right? And hence it takes more time to resolve the issue, resulting in what? Resulting in decrease in productivity, right? At the end of the day, my plant efficiency gets dropped down, which impacts my productivity and hence my bottom line, right? So what do we do? Daily, you people are working day in, day out in manufacturing processes, right? So we have come across daily some other problem comes up. That is bound to happen, right? With so many machinery, with so many people, problems are bound to happen. But the important point is how fast can we resolve or how fast can we attend to those problems, right? Having said that, what is that we were doing earlier and what is that we are doing now and how we can improve what we are doing now in future. So what we were doing earlier, let's say there's a problem or there's a machine breakdown which has been noted by an operator. What does operator do? Operator first tries to understand the problem, tries to locate probably which is the person or which is a department who is able to solve this problem or who is responsible to solve this problem, right? Then normally what happens is picks up the phone and then talks to that particular person in order to understand or explain what is the problem, correct? Now wait for the other person, another department to respond and sort out the problem, right? This is the communication what was going on in the industry, right? And to an extent it is still going on, right? Good, it is doing the job, but is it really doing the job? Is it really reducing my downtime? Now we will question those things. So how it happens? When an operator is telling another person about the problems, is the operator making the problem noted to the right person, to the right department who are responsible to solve the problem? One, because if not, then the problem will be floating around and people, right people will not get notified about the problem and hence it will take more time. Second, communication. When we talk about communication, what happens? The problem which we want to interpret, the problem what we want to inform, we inform to our head, then the head informs to someone else, then that particular head of other department informs to some other the operator or the maintenance personnel of his or her own department. What happens is a lot of miscommunication happens in between, affecting what? Affecting the resolution of actual problem, right? So these are the very main problems which generally any operator or any company faces. Another important problem is the priority, right? Prioritization of one department might not be a priority of other department. So what happens? One problem which comes and which is important for a production, right, which needs to be attended immediately, might not be a priority for other department to look into it right now. And when these two priority of different department doesn't sync with each other, what happens? It results in no collaboration affecting my productivity at the end of the day, right? So we understand the importance of how proper and accurate the communication should be in order to get the problems resolved at a faster level. So what do we do? Instead of taking a phone and calling a random person, and at the end of the day, we don't know who is that person, who is accountable or who is responsible to solve that problem, right? Rather leaving this, what we do, we start noting down. Instead of voice communication, now it becomes a written communication. So the operator writes on a piece of paper, maybe puts it across to the department, maybe give it to some other person. Fine, the communication or the interpretation of the problem remains the same. But however, still there's a time lag which is involved in reaching the communication to the right person and the person resolving the problem. Another problem which remains as it is are the priority of the other department, and also whether that department, who is the person who is responsible or accountable to solve the problem, has been notified or not. Right? All these things builds up, and all these things creates another problem, which is the communication is happening fine, but can someone actually detect, intercept, or analyze these communications at any given point of time? That means if this particular problem has been raised and informed, can the department head see at any point of time whether what is the problem and whether it has been notified to the right department or not? No. Until unless this doesn't happen on a system based communication, this particular point is not present. Right? Same goes with plant head. If a plant head wants to see that which all problems, how many problems, or which all departments has raised what all problems, will not be able to see or will not be able to get it. Right? So therefore, at the end of the day, what we can say, the visibility of the problem appearing and solving is not there. Right? So if there's no visibility, we understand that everything is going fine, but we don't take any action, hence results in lower efficiency. Just for an example, and this is the exercise what we have done. If we take automotive auto component industry at general, on an average, the efficiency of the complete industry hovers around somewhere 60 to 65% on an average. Right? However, all the machines, all the people have been made and trained respectively to achieve an efficiency closer to 90 to 95%. Then why is it that even today we are working with 65% of efficiency on an average? Right? Drilling down further, when we look at the slide, yes, we don't have a structured support request. So all are unstructured, all are at random. Whenever problem comes ad hoc, will be informed to some person, some department, whoever operator feels comfortable with, whoever operator feels okay, that person can resolve it, will inform it. There's no tracking, there's no responsible person mentioned, there's no visibility, there's no nothing of I can be sure that this problem will be resolved in this amount of time, and hence I can plan my production. No. So everything becomes jeopardized, and hence the unscheduled downtime which actually happens gets extended. Lack of collaboration, right? That is what we have seen, that these two people, these two departments might not be aware about each other. They might have different priorities. They might not be working in sync, right? And hence what happens is, if they don't work as per what is required for the organization, for the production to continue, there will be no benefit to anyone. Right? A problem has been raised. After raising the problem, someone attended the problem, but not to the satisfaction of the production. Then what happens? Still, the production cannot continue. Right? So there has to be a proper collaboration. There has to be a proper accountability even between the departments. Next, we also understand there is an inadequate reporting or analytics or analysis mechanism. Why we call that? What has happened? By doing communication or coming on paper kind of system, when we note down everything, we pass on paper to paper and form huge heaps of papers, right? Do you think is it really possible to go back and check those heaps of paper, or to locate very easily, or maybe not easily also, to locate where the problem is, whether the similar problem came in the past? No. So what we are doing, we are depending on few people who can recollect, might be, might not be, right? So therefore the reporting is not there in a proper way in which people can understand, in which different roles, different responsible person or different levels can understand what they want to take out from that particular information, right? And if we don't have a proper report at one place, we cannot do any analytics. Just for an example, do we know that a particular nature of problem has appeared n number of times earlier, and hence we should tackle that particular problem on priority? We can only do that if we have a report or if we have a historical information of that particular problem. Also, let's say that the problem has happened 11 times. Can we go back and look in all those 10 instances what was the best solution provided through which the problem got resolved faster? What are the best practices for that particular problem? If we are able to do it, we are sure that we take minimum amount of time to resolve the problem even the 11th time, right? So this kind of mechanism is not present at this point of time. When we talk about poor communication, we have already seen it is important that between two departments, between two persons, the communication exchange has to be better, right? The moment we give certain descriptions, it gets lost in transition from person to person. When we give it in writing, it happens, but it has to reach to the right person. So what is the better way? The better way is to have a system in which the problem is noted down, probably taking a photograph of the problem so that the problem is descriptive in its own nature, right? And whoever looks at the photograph comes to immediately know that yes, this is the problem. So there's no interpretation which is required at all. This kind of system, if it passes from person to person or department to department, the communication is more effective, right? Another point is ineffective prioritization of tickets. So when I say prioritization, the problems have to be prioritized in order to achieve the output for the organization, in order to continue my production. So that is the priority, right? Now this priority is to be the same priority for the other department also. How do we bring about it? When we actually prioritize the problems of all the departments. When we prioritize, no, for the organization, this is the priority problem number one. For the organization, this is the priority problem number two. Now what happens is all the departments start working for that priority problem number one. So there's no independent department working on different priorities. The priority is the company, and everyone starts working for that particular priority problem. And we know the priority problem gets resolved, that is fine. Another example, right now we know that certain problem has become critical and it's a bottleneck, right? We start working on that. However, if the priority is not set particularly or in a proper way, then another problem which comes up, which might become critical in coming few days, right? Those kind of problems will become a bottleneck in another next 2 days. What about that problem? Shouldn't that be your priority? Yes, provided that is a priority right now for the organization. If that particular problem is coming at a critical machine, it's coming at a bottleneck machine, that should be treated first. So that becomes a priority for the company. So therefore, everyone should get attention or should get notified of that particular problem, not another problem, right? So it is very important to prioritize, which by human nature, if we are not working on system, we will not be able to do it. Next, lack of customization. We all know, coming from our background, working on a computer, even at an operator level, right? Though it has become easier, but still there are certain challenges. There are certain change management which is required. There are certain compatibility issue what we talk about. Now, how do we resolve that? If we make our system so customizable that even a simple person with a simpler knowledge on the computer system can just do a drag and drop and finish the job, right? So therefore, no particular data to be entered. Only drag and drop is sufficient. Maybe it's required, you can enter certain other fields. You don't have to write a descriptive paragraph. Just paste the picture of that, it should be good enough. Now it becomes so useful, so easy for the operators to enter the problem, right? Another things we talked about, identifying who the person is, who the department responsible is. What if instead of operator or supervisor putting their heads behind understanding and wasting the time, what if a list of all the people who are supposed to solve this problem appears in front of the operator. Isn't it easier for the person to select that particular name and directly send the message to that particular person? Right? So this becomes very, very easy, very, very customizable for any operator in any manufacturing plant of automotive. Right? So important things, the problem can appear anytime. The main purpose is to reduce or increase the reaction to the problem, hence reducing mean time to repair and improve the productivity faster. Right? Having said that, we also understand a lot of times these kind of problems what appear can persist for 3 to 4 days. Right? So now imagine our plant getting shut down for next 3 to 4 days where the production hampers a lot. Correct? And the main reason happens because the person doesn't know that so and so problem has happened in some other area. Right? If that happens, then how do we overcome that? So the simple way is, and we will see it in the latest slides, a best way is to get a mail notification. Any problem happens at any particular corner of the plant, a mail notification gets generated. It gets generated to the right person. It gets generated to the department head where the problem is. It gets generated to the plant head to notify what the problems in a month, let's say. Right? So what happens is when the other person is getting notified, we know that it has come in the records. Once it has come in the records, we know that we need to attend to this problem. Once we are aware that we have to attend to this problem, we quickly take action. Right? So therefore, there's a clear-cut visibility, there's clear-cut email notification, there's clear-cut responsibility and accountability which comes into picture. Hence, the span of 3-4 days gets reduced and it only appears that the problem will be resolved in a much, much faster time. Okay? So these are the challenges what we have seen. Now we will see further how we can actually resolve those challenges. Right? So with TMS, nothing but it is a ticket management system. Can we actually have a something which is system based, which resolves all my problem? How? A TMS system or a ticket management system, can it be a centralized management station wherein it is actually distributed and operators at the shop level, line level, equipment level are able to do their work, but also the aggregated data is collected and it is available for monitoring purposes, or it is getting stored in a single server. Okay. Will it enhance my collaboration? Will it enhance my flow of problems and resolution faster between two departments? Will each department be able to understand each other? Will they be able to work closely to resolve the problem and improve the productivity? Will it actually increase my productivity? Will it actually improve my accountability? Who is the person who is accountable to resolve this problem? So that we understand that who is and which is the department which needs to be called when this kind of problem happens. If this problem is not getting resolved, then which is the department we need to follow up, or who is the person who is facing problem in resolving this particular issue. Right? Because at the end of the day, what we are trying to do, we are trying to improve or we are trying to increase the productivity. Right? Another important aspect is security. When we say that we have a system, okay, you have a system, there are so many employees in the organization, everyone is there, everyone is able to see what is going on, what is not going on. Is it that will they be able to tamper or play with the system? No. There has to be certain security. That means there has to be certain user authorization required for this particular system. Does the system have user authorization? We will see that. But the requirement is very, very important. We also know that in our company, some people comes, they work, some people leave. So we should have a proper user management tool. Right? And this has to be done by the company themselves, not by someone else, because the employees are with the company. Right? We will see that. Next, it is important and we have understood that how at the present system we don't have a reporting mechanism. Can this particular system, which is known as PMS, will give me a proper reporting, a customized reporting, a role-based reporting for different level people who can do business analytics with these reports and further identify the hidden factories and improve my productivity. Right? So to answer that, or rather before answering to those questions, right, we have seen what what are the pertinent questions a TMS system should answer, what are the important functionality a TMS system should have. Now coming a little closer to your process, right? So what we did, we went to different automotive manufacturing plants, auto component manufacturing plant, understood if any problem comes at the plant, what is the general process that they follow. And depending on that information, that knowledge, we have developed a process mechanism which matches most of the existing process and procedure. Having said that, having said that, this process flow is completely customization as per company requirement. Right? This is our understanding. We have developed it, but some company is having a different process flow. We can customize those process flow to meet the company's existing process standards. Okay, so let me start. So the first and foremost is when the problem is identified by the operator, right? So the problem is identified by the operator. What is the next step? So what is the first thing the operator does in the system is to create a ticket. That is nothing but to digitalize the problem, right? So problem has been noted. I create a ticket. I being an operator, I create a ticket out of it in the system. So that we call it as a ticket generation. Once ticket generation happens, the next step is ticket delegation. So ticket delegation could be in different way. An operator can select the particular person whom I know, okay, there's a problem. Let's say production person is there. There's a machine breakdown. I need to call a maintenance supervisor or maintenance person to resolve this problem. I will just see the maintenance department. These are the person who are available right now from the drop down menu, and I will allocate that particular. I'll designate that particular person to this particular problem. Okay, that is ticket designation. The moment I do it, the person whom I have designated the problem or allocated the problem actually gets notified by the mail that so and so problem has happened, so and so ticket has been raised. You need to follow up. You have been assigned this particular ticket, right? And not only the person who receives the ticket, but the department head of that particular person also receives the mail as a notification. Okay, so there are different hierarchies we can define who gets a notification, because it is important that if that particular person is not available, the department head or maybe the shift head or the supervisor should know that that person is not available and can actually redirect that ticket to some other person, right? The next step is follow up. We understand sometimes, as I said, we have to make it on a priority, a common priority. So what we do is we can now follow. Since we are now the person is notified, we know the person has understood what is the problem. Now the follow-up will start. Once the follow-up starts, the ticket in charge assignment happens. Right? That means there's a in charge to this particular ticket. Right? Now this ticket assignment is gone to the in charge. Why? Because sometimes it is possible the operator or the generator of the ticket who has seen the problem might not understand correctly which is the department who will resolve this problem, which is the person who will resolve this problem. So by mistakenly or unawarely, that particular person gives or allocates that ticket to some other person or some other department who is not responsible to resolve this problem. Okay? In that case, what we do, there's an option of accepting or rejecting the ticket. So I am a personal maintenance personnel. I am going to solve this problem. I accept the ticket. But I understand this is I am in a maintenance department, but this is not a maintenance problem. This is a quality problem, which I will not be able to address. So I reject the ticket. Okay. So once ticket is accepted or rejected, it goes for ticket clarification. Of course, in the case of rejection, and if it is accepted, then the ticket gets processed. Right. Now, if it's rejected, Again, there's a possible or there's a option for the ticket originator who has created a ticket to redirect it to some other department. Okay. Next, once the ticket is processed, now I know the ticket is there in the system. There's an allocated time for this. I need to resolve this problem. What I start doing, I start taking action on the ticket, right? So I start resolving the problem, and an action has been taken, right? So I take an action. Now, after taking the action, what will the maintenance department do? We will close the ticket, correct? However, with maintenance department, it is understood that the problem is resolved. But is it the only criteria? Was that the outcome which is required? Partially, yes. But the actual outcome or what was required was the ticket has to be closed and the machine should be on for the production. So ultimately, if production department is satisfied, now I can continue my production, right? Then that ticket is closed. That means the production has accepted the resolution and will close the ticket. The problem is resolved and the production continues because that was the ultimate aim. But however, if suppose the problem is not resolved as per the production satisfaction, still the production sees no, machine is not performing well, it is not working as the speed it wanted, or this problem is resolved now, but again this problem appear, again this problem. So this problem is frequently appearing in the span of another 24 hours, or maybe within few hours, right? So therefore, this ticket might be rejected, right? Or rather, the closure will be rejected, right? So once the closure verification happens, then either it gets rejected or it gets accepted. If it gets rejected, then there's an escalation of that ticket happens. That is ticket escalation. Okay. If not, then simply ticket closure is accepted. Once ticket closure is accepted, all this information goes in a form of report and gets saved in the database. Okay. Important thing. One, this particular sequence, starting from problem identified to the report analysis, right? The whole process, anyone who is assigned or authorized can view the path of the ticket, can view the ticket is where, who is attending, who is attending the problem. Okay. Even after this ticket is resolved, a report or a dashboard can be created or will be created in the database and can be viewed for historical purposes, historical analysis purposes, right? So this is the whole process flow which is being completely digitalized, right? So now we understood the whole thing when we are managing on the voice or on the paper, piece of paper, how difficult it is. Now everything in our system, we get a real-time information and visibility of what is going on with a particular problem. And next, what we do, we also know once this problem is resolved, next time if it comes, where to search. We can also do different analysis to improving our other business KPIs. Another important aspect, with this system, what we can do is we can even monitor our efficiency. How we'll do it, we'll come and we'll discuss later, right? Another thing, what I said earlier, this whole flow can be customizable as per the organization's requirement, right? Another thing, since this can be customized, it is not only that we can customize. You are working in your organization, now you do certain change management, certain improvements, right? You can yourself define this particular flow in the system. You need not call the backend developer of the software. You can yourself do these changes, right? So this is the customization level of this particular software or system. Good. So what we learned till now, we have problems, we have difficulty at present in communicating and resolving those problems, and hence reducing our downtime. We generally take on an average 3 to 4 days to resolve those problems, which affects our productivity. Now we can have a ticket-based system or ticket management system, which actually is electronically visible, and hence the resolution could be faster. There's a proper accountability and visibility of the system, right? All this while, what we are doing, we are removing all the papers, and hence this becomes a paperless system. So it improves productivity, it reduces downtime by resolving the problem faster, And since it's a paperless, it is also very sustainable for us and our environment. So we are able to address these three problems. Now we will move further and we will see different aspects. One more thing. These problems are not limited to only maintenance or downtime problems. Here, the ticket could be generated for anything and every department. So there's a quality concern in the particular product, right? The ticket could be raised from quality department and informing the final assembly or the paint shop or the body shop about the defect. And hence the vehicle can be taken again or the part can be taken again for a rework. And with this system, as I said, we have a historical reporting and logging. Therefore, we can always analyze how many such components or how many such vehicles are gone for rework. This exactly gives us the information of our hidden factories, right? Which will actually help us to improve our bottom lines and hence improve our productivity. So very important. This is a very good tool to track all these kind of problems which generates out of our productions. Okay. Right. Now we'll move forward and we will see this particular system. So what you are seeing right now in front of you is actually this particular system's screenshot, right? So what we've known that this particular software can be installed in your premises. Okay, once it is installed, you can work and play around with this software to actually generate or create a tickets for your problems. This is a kind of dashboard which looks like, and dashboard can contain ticket summary. So anyone who has created a ticket in a summary, if people wants to view, they can view it that this is the department, this is the shop floor, this is the line, this is the equipment, this is the machine, and this is the operator who has raised his ticket. This is the time it was raised, and this is the time it was notified. This is the time at which this particular ticket has been resolved. By whom, by which department, that also will come into picture. So this is a kind of summary we get it, even if we don't want to go into the report. Okay, this could be both for historical summary as well as the ticket which is in place right now, which are open right now, on which people are working. What else we can have? We can have a ticket creation dashboard when you can create a ticket easily. Just click on a button, select from drop-down menu, and then do it. So you could have a menu of department-wise, shop-wise, line-wise, equipment-wise, machine-wise, operator-wise, even your product-wise. So you have 5 different models of vehicle. You can have a product-wise kind of drop-down menu. Okay. Next, you can have a ticket search. Suppose at any point of time you want to search a ticket, you can search the ticket by the name or by the number. So every ticket which gets raised carries a unique number. So you can search the information of that particular ticket with that number if you remember or you see from your mail. If not, then you can just type the name and still you can search it. Or maybe the department, you can search with the department also. So this is a particular department, what all tickets are there in this department? What all tickets have been allocated to this particular department? What all tickets have been raised from this department, by this department? Okay. Then we can have ticket delegations. We can do easily ticket delegation. As I said, we can have a drop-down menu of the names. We can have a selection of names, selection of a department, person, equipment, and things like that. We also have agent activity. Now, what is agent activity? Agent activity is nothing but it is kind of tracking what person are doing what. So it is kind of event management in which we can actually track the activities of the people. So there will be a dashboard with a timestamp. So this particular person with a timestamp has created a ticket. This particular person with this timestamp has attended this particular problem. This particular person or the operator with this timestamp has accepted the closure of the problem. Okay. Then what we have is reports and analytics. So we can have a separate dashboard for reports and analytics. We can see that. We'll go into a little more details, but we can have a historical reports also. We can have a dashboard also. So dashboard will give us a information of real time, or maybe a collection of information which has happened in the previous historical period of time. And all this information are customizable as per the requirement of the company, as per the requirement of the person, which is role based. So a plant head wants to see some dashboards with respect to overall plant productivity, maybe a efficiency level, or maybe hidden factory level, or maybe overall in a month how many tickets are created, and in those months in that particular month, how many of those tickets were resolved, right? A superficial level of information which will help the plant head to take certain business calls. When it comes to department head, the department might be concerned about their own department's ticket. So how many tickets from my department were created? What all lines or what all equipment those tickets belong to? Whether someone took more time to solve this problem, that's the reason my productivity got hit, or maybe there was some other instances because of my productivity got hit, right? So these all dashboards are customizable, all dashboards are role based. Moving forward, we have already discussed that we can have notifications. We will come in detail about the email notifications. So one notification is system based. On the system, we will see as an alarms, we can see the notification, or we can also have a notification in form of email. Then this is the kind of reports and analytics we are talking about. So we can have ticket volume, ticket status, response time, resolution times, and also the efficiency. That is how long the machine was available for production. When it comes to quality, whether there were any quality issues, and because of that the problem ticket has been raised, and if the problem was related to human, or maybe the performance of human, let's say how much faster the things got resolved. What was the timestamp when this particular problem came? When did the operator start production again after resolution of this problem? So it gives us the information of all three parameters A, Q, and P, and hence we can calculate the efficiency. So we can have efficiency attached along with this. Moving forward, we can have user management. We talked about this. This is nothing but it gives a user profile, user authorization, user login, user password, and also the security, because this particular user management tool follows all Windows principles. That means the Windows should expire after a particular number of days. The password should get reset after a particular failed attempts. The admin should have access to reset the password. The admin can create more users or delete users upon requirement. So this user management tool is inbuilt in this system and can be used directly. Then we have email alerts. So this is what we are talking about. You can see very clearly if any ticket is created, if any ticket is updated, if any ticket is closed, or any user management activity happens, the email will be generated, and we can define which all level people should get this, what kind of email. If ticket creation happens, what are the levels should get notified, what are the departments should get notified. So those kind of email comes, and hence what we see, the notification becomes faster and the resolution becomes faster because time to reaction will be less now, right? I'll just pause for a few seconds on the slides. Right. We move forward. This is the kind of ticket generation screen we are talking about. You can see at the top right corner, if the ticket is open, if the ticket is acknowledged. So what is the status of the ticket? If the ticket is closed, then a closure kind of message will come with all the information about the ticket. Moving forward, we can have different hierarchy defined. So there could be a plant head, shop head, shift in charge, supervisor, operator. There's a 3 hierarchy, we can have 3 hierarchy. There's a 7 hierarchy, we can make 7 hierarchy. There are 10 hierarchy, we can make 10 levels. Also, the user authorization or the reporting or the customization can be done as per hierarchy. So we can say level 1, level 2, or the operator supervisor are only view only personnel, but rest of the hierarchy can edit also and can generate tickets that can be customized. We can do other way around. You can see that bottom levels operator supervisor can only do the editing as well as viewing, but the above level can only do viewing of the dashboards. That is also possible to customize. So different hierarchies can work and can be customizable. This whole software can be customized to incorporate different hierarchies as per your present standards. This is the overall architecture. You can see here what we have. This is the area where the operator actually works. So operator can have mobile device, can raise a ticket through mobile, can view the tickets through mobile, or touch panel or laptops, or tablets, touch panel or tablets, can use the laptops or desktop as a web client. We'll see in a few seconds that how and why web client. But web client is nothing but you don't have to install any software in your PC. You just have to view it on your browser. So it becomes very easy for the operator. There's no different software which needs to be learned. There's no different software which needs to be installed. So it can be just open as a Chrome or a Windows Internet Explorer and can be done. For Linux, we can even use Firefox as a browser. Okay. And for the admin people, again, the designing can be done through web-based tool itself. No particular software requires to be installed. This complete thing can be connected. This can be mounted next to the lines, next to the equipments, and overall can be connected to one IT system. Okay, where my TMS server will sit. That is ticket management system server will sit. And along with the system, this particular information, all the information will be stored in this particular device. Simple as MS SQL Server, right? And IT people are very much aware about this particular, how to handle this particular systems. And this whole thing can sit inside your manufacturing plant. That means your data remains with you. Okay, so a simple architecture, just having few PCs, and rest can only be a, let's say, thin stations, or could be a web-based browser in a mobile or in a laptop or in a tablet form of things. Okay, for auto component manufacturer who might have different plants, or for automotive who have different plants across various globes, or auto component manufacturer having different plants across India, we can also do in such a way that TMS server sits in their headquarters and can be connected to different manufacturing plants. With this, what happens is you can now have all the information of different plants at one location. You can also compare plant to plant. You can compare the efficiency. You can compare the hidden factories. You can also know where the productivity is getting hit. First, you can compare the nature of problems which has appeared in the plant 1, and if the similar problem appears in plant 2, what action is to be taken. Right? So both kind of things are there, but you be assured that all the data remains only with you. Right? Right. We'll move a little bit forward. So therefore, just to recap, this is what we have seen as a TMS features. First and foremost, we know that we are not using heaps of paper now on our table. So therefore, this is nothing but a paperless TMS system, right? We have seen it can support plant hierarchy model, that is different hierarchy levels. It can have different user managements. It can be scalable. It is having security as in user management. We can do a ticket delegation with this software. We can also view ticket history and do analysis. We can have a dashboard in which we can know what is real time going on inside my plant with respect to any problems or all the problems. Summary reporting, we can have a report based system so that we know historically what has happened for business analysis, for management analysis. We can also have automatic ticket generation, right? That means we'll come to this later. That means we can now generate tickets manually, or it can be generated automatically. Then we know for notification, we have email alerts. Very important. Okay. So overall, these things does what? They make my reaction time much less. The resolution of problem become faster, decreasing downtime, increasing production or productivity. And hence what I do along with that, I improve and I work on my sustainability topic as well. Right? Having said that, this is about TMS system. This is about what we have developed till now, and there are future roadmaps. So we have already understood the requirement. We have developed based TMS module. We have already done a deployment of this TMS module. It is running and used by production team in one of the automotive manufacturing plant. We have done a successful operation of TMS module. Now the next will be auto ticket generation. That means a manual, the operator need not generate a ticket. Suppose some other problem has happened in some other location, right? And it is already recorded. Then automatically in this centralized system, a ticket will get generated and the procedure will follow. So it doesn't depend on a person also to raise a ticket, right? So that is the next feature we are trying to add up. Then we can do predictive analysis. As I said, we can be open to hidden factories. We can be open to our efficiency calculations. And also later on, if we see we are doing condition monitoring, attaching that particular module to this, then we can do a predictive analysis. Because on one hand, we know the problems that are reported. We can create a kind of something we are doing next also is an artificial intelligence or machine learning programming, through which the existing problem we know, and next time that problem happens, how do we predict that how long this problem can appear again. Okay, so kind of using algorithms to predict those things. Okay, then we also working on chatbot integration and any other future development. So we've just chalked out till 2025 as of now. Next 2-3 years, it goes more feedbacks come, the time changes, and then we work on it accordingly. Having said that, I'll just quickly summarize that as what we were doing earlier, if any problem comes up with a faster pace of production, the things are not working fine because it took a lot of time to resolve a particular problem, reducing our productivity. We started incorporating those on paper, but paper became huge and it becomes more inefficient way of working. Hence, we have a ticket management system through which it's a system based. We can generate tickets, we can report any problem, we can have a clear visibility of the problems, and we can have an accountability of that particular problem. Associated with this, we can have management to do a review, discussion and analysis of that particular historical tickets or a problem which has happened previously. So in and all, having a paperless system not only improves our productivity, but it improves the way we are working and managing our organizations and production today. I hope you would have gained out of this particular system some knowledge about how can we utilize the system in improving our productivity. Thank you again. Thank you everyone for attending this session. If you have any questions, you may now feel free to ask us a question, and Mr. Srihari will be there to take up those questions. Thank you, Srihari. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Tanay, for being the torchbearer and letting us know how to raise and solve the tickets in a much easier and more accurate approach using our standalone software. So I know all of you are analyzing your ticket management process right now. And so I think it's appropriate to know from you on a scale of 1 to 5 how better the ticket management process would become after incorporating such methodology to your system. So I think we can make it interactive towards the end of the session. So we have reached that point. So we would like to know from you on a scale of 1 to 5, how do you feel that this methodology would help you improvise your system? So the Q&A chat is open, so you can right away scale us on 1 to 5 for that. So I'll give you 10 seconds. So, okay, we have got a 5, we have got a 4, 5. Okay, so I think since the technical part of the webinar is done, let us move towards the Q&A session. Now you can shoot out your questions. Our speaker will be more than happy to clear your doubt. So we have got one question here. So can this TMS take the ticketing data that is already stored from another existing software, example SAP or Power BI, into it so that there is no data loss? So Tane, so we've got a question. So can you just proceed with it?
Right. Yes, Yash. So I understand that the question is, if suppose there's some other system is there, and already people are working, let's say for an example, ERP system with SAP system. Yes, people work, people raise raw material shortages and things like that. So whether those things can be taken and created as a ticket, right? That is what the question says. Okay.
Yes.
So exactly. So this is what we are working. That's what I said, auto generation of tickets. So this is what I meant by auto generation of tickets. So if any software or any other systems is there, right, in which we are already working, and we raise a problem over there, yes, with that problem, we can always create a ticket. We can actually handshake or integrate these two systems. We can take that information and put it in our ticket management system so that we have a common database of tickets across our plant, right? And we need not come back to the ticket management system and create a ticket. So a ticket, let's say there's a material shortage, or I feel that after 2 weeks there will be a shortage of material and I want to order it in SAP. So either I can do it in SAP or I can do it in TMS, and since two systems are interconnected, we can exchange the information. So I create a problem in SAP that I need so and so material. That particular request can will be worked on SAP, as well as there's a ticket which can be created inside my ticket management system as a problem or as a request.
Okay. Thank you, Tane. So we'll address another question as well. So can one ticket be assigned to different departments and still different departments can view them at the same time and close it? So this is the other one that we have gotten right now. So you can take it forward.
Right. So as I said, yeah, I understand. As I said again, that this is completely customizable, right? So it all depends on your production and your process requirements, right? So if your process requirement needs sees in such a way that these tickets are something, some problems are there which a single department cannot take care, right? Let's say if it's a quality issue, then the quality department is also there, production department is also there, and maybe a few more departments, right? Maybe a customer service department is also engaged. So yes, there's a possibility to assign the tickets to multiple departments, and they can be allocated a different work, and each department will stress and will resolve their own problems. Okay, and hence together these other departments and the originator department will be working together to resolve that particular problem for the organization. So it is possible. Again, depends on the company's existing procedure, policies, and things like that.
Okay. So we've got a couple more questions. I think we can address them personally as we are running out of time. So thank you, Tanay. So as we are marching towards the end of this webinar, on behalf of our entire team, I would like to express my gratitude for your active participation in the session. I hope that the information and insights shared by our experts were informative and valuable. We appreciate the time and effort you took to attend this event. Our special thanks to Mr. Tanay for sharing his knowledge and expertise on ticket management system. So we look forward to seeing all the attendees at our future events. And for all the updates, do follow our LinkedIn page. We have a handle by the name IC Pro, so you can just follow us for more updates. Once again, thank you so much. Hoping to see you all in yet another insightful webinar. I hope you have an amazing day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Shirish.
Yeah.
Also, not to forget, we have a handout section wherein you can find our information and what all things we are doing for the industry. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.